You're tuned in to Ask the Good Doctor, live each and every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Central, and 10 a.m. Pacific. Dr. Joyce Brookshire is here to answer your questions live.
Hello, everyone. It's Wellness Wednesday, and welcome to Ask the Good Doctor. I'm Dr. Joyce Brookshire, and I am here to help you attain, maintain, and reclaim your perfect health. Please join me on Instagram at Ask the Good Doctor and on Twitter at Ask the Good Doc. Jump on into this conversation, but first, click that subscribe button below. Send me your questions, please, also down below. Do not hesitate. I will answer them. And today we are going to have a round of Ask the Good Doctor. I am going to take the questions that you have asked me across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even here on YouTube. Let's get started, okay? I want to first thank all of you all for the wonderful birthday wishes that came my way. And there was a lot of guessing going on about how old is she? How do you think she is? So I want Chris to show my birthday cake. Show my cake, Chris. There it is. Happy birthday, LaJoyce, 60th. Happy 60th birthday, LaJoyce. That's it. That's me. Yes, this is a milestone birthday for me. And yes, I am 60. They say that 60 is the new 30s. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. But however, in my opinion, in my circle of friends, in my circle of influence, in my family, I have seen 60-year-olds thriving. They're not decrepit. I have been looking forward to this moment for a long time. And actually now I'm looking forward to my 70s because I'm just curious as to what taking care of yourself looks like in the future. I have been taking care of myself in a really good way since I was a teenager. When I heard that speech in my senior high school class from Cindy Rogers about why you should become a vegetarian. I'm not a vegetarian today, full disclosure, but it was the impetus which got me on my wellness journey. And I have been practicing a holistic lifestyle ever since I was 17. And I promise you, it has paid off and has kept me until now. So thank you all for all of the guessing that has gone down. And I appreciate all of your wonderful comments and well wishes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, our first question is from Chris on Instagram. He says, everybody thinks they are in good health. That's true. How do you know if you're in perfect health or not? That is an excellent question, Chris. How do you know whether or not you're in perfect health? Let me give you an example from my point of view. I am, once again, 60, and I like to say that I am in perfect health. How do you know whether or not you're in perfect health, as Chris is asking? Well, one of the ways you can know is because your blood work shows you that you're in great health. My blood work shows me. I just had my annual blood work done a couple of weeks ago, and my new primary care physician called me to say that your numbers are remarkable. I do not have one thing out of alignment, not one. Wow. Awesome. Okay. And she was shocked and amazed at that. Why? Because number one, people at my age, a lot of them that she sees are on at least two medications by now. And that's starting younger and younger, I'm sad to report. Now, I am greatly concerned about the younger generation who are showing up with health issues reserved once before for 80-year-old men and 75-year-old women. Not to say that if you're 75 or 80 that you'll be on medications. However, the younger generation is falling victim to diseases that were once reserved for people in the older generation. And that's very sad for me, hence my mission to teach you about perfect health. So I don't have one thing out of line. And one of the other ways that you know is how you feel. All right. I have talked to you consistently about drinking water. It helps you to be able to stand up and sit down without pain and with all of that creaking and cracking that goes on in the knees and the joints and the elbows. And water is like the Tin Man slides some oil into me. So you drink your water. Okay. That's one of the ways that I know I can stand up and sit down without pain. I do have a bum knee, but other than that, I am pain free. And that is because I oil my joints with water. The second way that I know that I'm in perfect health is my vision. I do not have contacts. I do not need cheaters. I only use a magnifying glass when the print is smaller than a phone book. I can still read a phone book. I can still read a Bible that has that little baby print. However, I can't do the 0 point, the 1 point, the 2 point print. And none of us should really be forced to, but a lot of ingredients on labels are that really teeny tiny print because they don't really want us to see it. I'm convinced of that. So I don't need glasses. I also still have all of my teeth. I don't have implants. I just recently came out of braces to get them all aligned because I did start to see a shifting going on that I wasn't willing to live with. And I also have all of my limbs. I don't have anything artificial. And those are really good signs. I don't have anything to help me hear. My nails still grow very well. My hair still goes well. And my skin is still moist and supple. Those are some of the indicators outwardly that let you know that you're in good health. And I pee and poop regularly and don't need help. That's a good one. Those are all indicators that let you know that you're in perfect health. All right. So I hope, Chris, that answers your question and thank you for it. Do you have any advice on recurring heartburn? I eat clean for the most part and drink water every day. I'm too young to be experiencing this. That's from Jana. Jana, I agree with you. You are too young to be experiencing this if you feel that you are. I like to use a product called DGL, and I thought I had some nearby so that I could show you. DGL is diglycerinized licorice, which is chewable. It tastes like black licorice candy, and you chew it and it soothes the digestive tract. It also heals the esophageal lining if you have any corroding going on, if they say that you have GERD or this recurring heartburn situation. So that if you drink water every day, that's great. It may be some of the foods that you're eating that are agitating you, Jana, and it may also be the fact that you're not digesting them well. If you do things like chew gum, gum steals your digestive enzymes. So we have all of this saliva and digestive enzymes in a bank, right? And when you chew gum, you're just wasting your digestive enzymes because the stomach is waiting to receive the food. Send it down. And then you never do. So the saliva is being called up when you chew gum and you never send anything down. Here's the funny thing about that bank of digestive enzymes. After age 40, you don't make any more. So while you're young and in your years where your cells are rejuvenating or should be, then if you are experiencing digestive upset now or recurring heartburn now, that is an indicator for you to stop what you are doing and turn around and walk in the other direction so that you no longer experience this. The DGL will help you greatly. They're not even all that expensive. They're around $11 for 120 capsules, tablets. About $11 for 120 tablets that you could chew 3 or 4 of them before you eat. Now, here's the caveat. If you are eating out, and this is not a meal that you're eating at home, just know that you need to take a couple more, because a restaurant's responsibility is to give you the best tasting food that costs them the lowest. So their food is not of the best quality unless you are going somewhere that promises you organic, like a Panera Bread, okay? Especially if you're going to eat fast food. That's my go-to spot. If I'm going to eat out, I'm going to eat at Panera. All right? I hope that answers your question, Jana. Thank you. Next one. I already knew about parasites and never paid attention. Scary. Definitely looking through it on Amazon. Audrey says, thank you, Audrey. Yes, parasites are scary. And I promise, if you look at that show, Monsters Inside of Me, just Google it. It's right here on YouTube. Monsters Inside of Me from the Discovery Channel. You will get an education far more than you had ever anticipated. Just one episode will help to convince you that monsters are inside of us. How do you know really that you need to deworm at the change of the season? Well, a lot of people say, I have seasonal allergies. I suffer at the change of every season with seasonal allergies. So I have to take my Claritin, I don't even know the names of all of these things, okay? But Claritin is one that I do know. So they're taking all of these things to allay these symptoms of itchy eyes, runny nose, stuffy head, coughing, sneezing, wheezing. But the itching is the most thing that will let you know that you need a parasite cleanse. And you may be like me. I itch right around the rim of my nose, yeah? And it gets itchy. And I always have a tissue and I'm doing this. So let me know that the hatching, the birthing of the new parasite babies inside of me has begun. We all have those parasites, okay? I don't want you to freak out about them. Let's do something about them. Are we going to ever get rid of them completely? No, because we have good and bad bacteria. Our job is to make sure that the bad bacteria don't overrun the good bacteria, hence parasite cleaning. Now, if you really don't think that you need it, then go ahead. Do all that sneezing, itching, wheezing, coughing, scratching. Help yourself, all right? But I'm telling you, this is it. Another way that you know how sometimes you have an itch and you try to catch it and it kind of keeps going and you can't catch exactly, but you feel it? That's parasites running around. And you know how, too, you get that anal itching when you wipe and you need to wipe again because it itches in your anus? Yeah, that's an indication of parasites. The old folks call it ringworm. Okay, you got ringworms, you got tapeworms. If you see a parasite, if you're doing the parasite cleanse, listen, take a picture of it and email it to me, okay? Because I'm the science freak. I want to see your worms. And you should really look to analyze your poop. That is the single best analytic that we have to look in the toilet and see what you put in there. Don't just flush. We can solve a multitude of health diseases or catch things early if we'll look at the waste. It's an indicator of what's going on inside. All right, Audrey, hope that helps. Next up, Matthew from Twitter says, I read those reviews about that black walnut wormwood you suggest, and I don't think I can deal with the nasty taste of it. Is there any way to deworm without taking those drops? Matthew, absolutely. Those drops are just one way. The ones that I recommended to you a show ago, the black wormwood combination from Now Foods. Yes, that's just one way. Chris, put up the SCRAM. The SCRAM is another way to combat to do a parasite cleanse. Oh, this is really good. You take these capsules, you suck them down on an empty stomach, same way. The directions are right on the bottle. But I am a fan of drops. I love drops. I love powders. I love chewable. Why? Because the chewables, the drops, and the powder go right into the bloodstream, right to the cellular level. They're bioavailable. The capsules, though, on the SCRAM, I love them the most because the capsules for the SCRAM are food grade and not plastic. So you don't have to worry about them not breaking down. They do a good job. Personally, I don't want to swallow capsules. But if you have an aversion to nasty taste, because I promise you that black wormwood, yeah, it tastes just like it sounds. Green, black wormwood hull. Ugh. It's really something, but it does the job. You just kick it back. It's not a cup of tea that you just walk around and sip on it for a full hour. No, stir that stuff up with that grapefruit seed extract and kick it. Done. Follow it with some more water. But Matthew, if you don't like the taste, by all means, try the SCRAM. It really works too. All right. Mongier says, going to bed early has great benefits, but it's something I find trouble doing consistently. Wow. You know, Mongier, I hear you. You know, and everyone has a late night here and there, and that's fine. But staying up consistently, defying the circadian clock, that really hurts us. And you can actually find yourself in a health crisis from staying up too many days in a row and not getting enough quality sleep. A lot of people say, well, I sleep during the day, or I nap during the day, or people who work overnight justify working overnight to get that night differential, right? Why do you think they pay you more to work the night shift? Why do you think they call it the graveyard shift? Because working overnight leads people to an early grave. And that is statistically a fact. Now, if you're working the overnight shift to meet a goal, to save money for your house, because your children are little and you want to be there during the day for your children to receive them, put them on the bus, get them off the bus, I understand it. As soon as you meet your goal, though, put in that request to jump off that night shift. Your body will thank you because you're defying nature. And I want us to work alongside of nature instead of defying it, because that's another way to get to perfect health, Munjir. My classmates from high school make fun of me because we get together. How many of you all are still friends from high school? That's something else that leads to good longevity too. Yeah. Being friends with people, having long, fruitful relationships. I'm still friends with my friends from nursery school and high school. But when we get together on our Zoom calls and our phone calls and we're planning something because we have a lot of events, they go, we have to do it before 9 o'clock because you know the Joyce still goes to bed at 9 o'clock. They make fun of me, but I can get on that call and go to sleep on them. True story. That going to bed early should be habitual versus staying up late being habitual. And I would also say that the fountain of youth is sleep. I 100%, I believe that. And that will help to also keep you healthy and lead to perfect health. So while you are finding it hard to make this a part of your lifestyle, just do it. Quite interestingly, I teach an 11 o'clock class and I have 24 students in that class, and 22 of them have my 11 o'clock class as their first class of the day. What? Why? Now, if you work and you're coming from work and you're coming into the classroom, okay. But if you just got out of bed and you're rolling into class onto campus for the first time at 11 o'clock, that puts you into a cycle to potentially defy the clock. All right. Don't sleep your life away. Just do it. And people say, but I just stare at the wall. I can't go to sleep. You know what? Turn off that phone. Stop trying to do this all night long. And the phone shouldn't even be in your room. It should not even be in the same room, let alone in your bed. We're going to do a show on the dangers of the cell phone in your bed, how it can overheat, catch fire, but more than that, keep you awake. And with the quality sleep, you also need to be in a dark room, have no night lights on unless it's a certified night light where it has the green or the blue or the orange tinge that will help you sleep. This is restorative sleep. No television. That blue light on that TV, that flick, 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 flick. If you close your eyes with me now and wave your hand in front of your face, you still see this. It can't, your mind never rests. And that's how you wake up tired. So put it into practice. Try these tips and let me know how it works out for you. I'm curious to know. Next question. Genesis asks, how often do you recommend chiropractic adjustments? Well, I recommend chiropractic adjustments monthly. It is a part of my monthly maintenance plans. There are just some things that I do once a month without fail. I colon cleanse once a month. I do a little detox once a month. I get a chiropractic adjustment once a month, a massage once a month. I actually barter with a massage lady, a masseuse. Hey there, April girl. And we barter with each other. So she comes to my office or I go to hers and she massages me. I reflex her and I have an iTero wand. Oh, we'll talk about that another time. But all of these things we block out 4 hours, one day a month, because practitioners need care too. We need hands to be laid on us too. And we need to be restored as well. So a chiropractic adjustment once a month is good for maintenance. Now, if you have an issue and if you go to the chiropractor says, oh, we're going to need to really work on this because some things can't just put you back in line in one day. You may need to come back next week, or can you come back Friday and let's work on this and get you back into alignment. But once you are in alignment, once a month is good. Thank you for that. Here's a good one. Ethan says, do chiropractic adjustments really work? Watching videos on them, I just don't trust them. I understand what you mean. I've seen this video of this one chiropractor and he was at a fair or something. And see, my nose is itchy. I'm in the middle of my parasite cleanse. So this is how I scratch it. Okay. All right. Because it's the season for parasite cleansing. Okay. So my nose is itchy right now. So Ethan, I saw this video of this chiropractor. He adjusted this woman from the tips of her fingers to her toes. I mean, he made everything go pop. I mean, he didn't leave one body part unadjusted. It was amazing, yet a little scary. So if that's something that you've seen, but when you go into an office visit, and every chiropractor may not be for you. I have two personally. I have a sports chiropractor who puts me back into condition to help me leap tall buildings in a single bound if I'm really injured like I had been. He helped get me back in fighting shape so I could get back into dance class, back into water aerobics. And I have my chiropractor, Dr. Birak, hey there, that I go to once a month for maintenance. So I have two types of chiropractors, excuse me. And every chiropractor may not be for you. Excuse me. Find one that's suitable for you, research them, and ask them if you can come to their office to view how they operate or set up a meeting with them. It's totally acceptable. You should research your chiropractor and interview them just as you do when you sign up for a new PCP. Primary care doctor, primary care physician. Make sure that you do that because all chiropractors and all physicians are not created equal. So don't let it frighten you, Ethan. Get in there, go take an appointment and move on from there and just see what is the better fit. Okay. Hope that answers your question. Next one. At what age would you advise women to start getting thermography? Also, why cutting on the wine? She's going for my last statement on the show. Cut back on the wine. To let your eyes shine, cut back on the wine. Don't experts recommend 1 glass of wine per day? They absolutely do recommend 1 glass of wine, but it's not just any kind of wine. It's red wine. They recommend red wine. If you drink in excess of 1 glass of wine or any kind of alcohol per day, what happens is the white of your eyes start to turn yellow, which is an indicator that the liver is being overburdened by the alcohol quotient that you're intaking and cannot process the quantity of alcohol because you're not flushing it enough. You're not cleansing the liver and not drinking enough water behind that glass or several glasses of alcohol. So that's why I say cut down on the wine, because you want to not drink more than 1 glass of red wine per day. And you can look in the mirror for yourself and make sure that the whites of your eyes are indeed still white and shining, because you want your eyes to shine. As a holistic practitioner, when I see people in my office, or even when I do a phone appointment with my patients, I have them send me a picture of their eye. I cannot make an assessment without seeing photos of the eye, tongue, face, because this face tells a story. The eyes tell a really deep story. There is a therapy called iridology that looks at the iris of the eye and can tell you everything about your habits. Oh, it is phenomenal. If you can find an iridologist, highly, highly recommended. My teacher, Dr. Cynthia Howell, hey, Dr. Cynthia, she specialized in iridology, and she was amazing and proficient at it. So iridology, or looking at the eye, I just do a cursory look at the eye because I'm looking for other markers. I'm looking for parasites. I'm looking to see how your liver is doing. I'm looking for yeast, and I'm looking for striations of red lines to see whether or not your blood pressure is high. And I'm also looking to see whether or not your iron is high or low, or if you're right at baseline where you should be. I can see all of that in the eye without taking the machine and looking in your eye. So that's why people have to send me a photo of their eye if they are not in my office. So Mujana, I said all that to say, to let your eyes shine, cut back on the wine so that your liver can live and thrive, because your liver is a major filtration system for the entire body. Okay? And what age should you start getting a thermography? I think that you should start getting a thermography as soon as you reach the age level that you would start getting a mammography, or if you have any pain associated with your breast. But I'm going to let Rebecca Reverie, the specialist, the technician, I'm going to let her tell us directly why thermography and at what age. Play it for us, Chris. Welcome back to Ask the Good Doctor on Urban View, Channel 126. I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, and it is Breast Health Prevention Month here on the show. Joining us by phone from New Hampshire is Rebecca Reverie, a certified thermology technician, and Dr. Bill from California. He is a board-certified thermal image interpreter. Now, Lavender Lady from Twitter asks, what age do you recommend getting a thermography?
Well, we recommend starting at age 20. We're looking at approximately 15% of breast cancers now occurring in women under the age of 49.
Yes.
And as you are younger, like it was with my sister, a lot of these tumors are far more aggressive.
Yes.
So we recommend a baseline at 20 and about every 3 years to the age of 30, and then yearly afterwards.
Okay.
We can see vascular patterns, and it senses heat. Mm-hmm. So we can see changes occurring before they are lumps that are large enough to be felt.
Thank you, Majana. I hope that answer helps you in determining whether or not thermography is right for you and when. Next question. KK says, oh, this is so sweet. I'm amazed by your glowing skin. Thank you. What do you use? I appreciate that. Thank you for the acknowledgement. I make every effort to take good care of myself, but I will show you what I use. I use the Sabella Beauty line. It's from Sabella Beauty. It's nature inspired beauty. And this is the Deep Marine line. And it is an oil-based cleanser. And you put it on your face. And when you put a little water with it, it gets creamy. And it's for aging skin. I'm aging. I don't have any problem with that. The trick is not to look like it. Hello. So I use this oil-based cleanser, and it's for dry skin or aging skin. And then this is the toner that I use right behind it. And then I do the treatment behind it. The treatment. It's a treatment serum. Love this. And then nighttime moisturize. This is very sumptuous, very thick. I need something that's thick because my skin may be dry sometimes. And this is for daytime use. And then here is the eye moisturizer. Those are the things that I use. And if you're interested in the Sabella Beauty line, just click on the link below. I'll have the information there, or you can contact me directly at DrBrookshire@outlook.com, and I'll be glad to tell you how to get it because it's through the Wellness Shopping Club. Yes, believe it or not, there's a shopping club called the Wellness Shopping Club, and you could be a part of it too. So thank you for that, KK. I appreciate you for noticing. Thank you. And I use their makeup too. They have a makeup line and nail polish. They have lots of nice colors. All right. Dee Dee says, you are always talking about MicroDaily. Yes, I am. I should get some. Is it really that good? Dee Dee, you should get some. Yes, it really is that good. I told you all last time about my experience of using MicroDaily, upping my MicroDaily and going from 3++ to 2 in 1 year when I got my breast thermography. Also, MicroDaily is excellent for inflammation. It helps with oxidative stress. I cannot even imagine this product not in my life. If I had to get rid of everything, the only thing that I would keep, if I had to really get rid of one thing, keep one thing, it would be MicroDaily. And that is the honest to goodness truth. So yes, MicroDaily is that good. Show them a picture of it, Chris. I like this one, the original MicroDaily. I love this one. It's just really awesome. And they have others as well. They have some for EMF protection. That's really good also for those of us in front of a computer all of the time. That is great. So yes, MicroDaily, rah, rah, rah. I could do a commercial for it anytime, any day. Yes, I believe in it and love it. And yes, I've seen it clinically work on others in addition to myself and for my family. Hope that answers you. Thank you, Dee Dee. The last question, this is from Sylvia on Facebook. Thank you for discussing grief and admitting your grief. People don't think that it is a real thing. Whew. I'm glad you took time off to deal with your grief. Please tell people how important it is to acknowledge grief. Thank you, Sylvia, for that question. I don't think that people really understand how intense grief is until they experience it for themselves. So until you really experience the grief of any kind of magnanimous loss, you don't know what that is. These are just empty words spilling out of my mouth. You don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So just hear these words and file them in the recesses of your mind. And one day you may need to recall this. But the loss of anything is grief. The loss of a loved one, a job, a home, a car, a relationship. All of those are things that grieve us. The way things used to be pre-COVID, those things grieve us. And we can't pretend that they don't. So for the class of 2020 and the class of 2021 who did not have a graduation, a prom, or lost out on experiencing their senior year, who had virtual graduations, those are things that are grievous to our spirits, to our soul, and they pain us deeply. So it's important to acknowledge it before you try to move on. Because if you just try to sidestep what happened to you, you can't just cut that corner. It will deal with you eventually if you do not deal with it. So do your best to verbalize, I'm grieving. I saw everybody else have a graduation and I didn't have one. I saw everyone else go to their prom and I didn't have one. These are things that really troubled us. And as parents who had children who could not experience the things we had and who had looked forward to these things for our children, that grieved us as well. Don't sidestep that. And some people say, it's just a graduation. It's just a prom. But it's your prom. Or that's just a little boyfriend. Oh, that's puppy love. Well, you know what? It's love to the puppy. So don't negate that. Those things cause us our humanity. Acknowledge it and grieve it. And when you lose someone close to you, acknowledge that too. Remember the good times. Remember the things, and remember the sad times too. Remember the things that in that relationship help us to grow, to be, to do, to shine. Remember those things as well. Laugh when you want to and cry when you want to. That's the best advice that I have to give on how to overcome grief, because it is how I am overcoming mine. I hope that helped, Sylvia. And I hope that all of these questions help you. So keep them coming. And we'll do this every now and again to get your questions asked and answered. That's all the time I have today. I want to thank my team, Christopher Green, a technical producer, IW supervising producer, and our announcer today, Chris Brown. Thank you for joining me. And remember to let your eyes shine, Audrey. Mujana. Cut back on the wine, get good food fast, and go easy on the greasy. Until next time, I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, here to help you attain and maintain your perfect health. Let's do it again next week, okay? God bless you.